Why does sending one simple email feel exhausting, but scrolling for hours feels effortless? Like, you want to work, you know what to do, but your brain just refuses. That's not laziness. You're in dopamine debt. And your brain? It stopped working for free. In 2026, your brain is living in an environment it was never designed for. Every scroll, every notification, every short video is delivering instant high-intensity stimulation. Way more than normal life ever could. So when you sit down to do something simple, studying, writing, even replying to a message, it feels slow, quiet, almost painful. Not because it's hard, but because your brain has been recalibrated. There was a time when dopamine came after effort. You did the work, then you felt good. Now, your brain expects dopamine before it even starts. And if it doesn't get it, it resists. That brain fog you feel? It's not confusion. It's your brain saying, this isn't stimulating enough to be worth my energy. And that's where things get dangerous. Because your brain doesn't just adapt, it starts protecting itself. When your brain gets too much stimulation, it fights back. It does something called downregulation, which basically means it hides its own dopamine receptors. Think of it like this: if the world gets too loud, your brain turns down the volume, but now everything sounds quiet, even the things that used to feel normal. This is the debt because your baseline, the level where you feel okay, has dropped. So now normal tasks feel like low reward, high effort, not worth it. It's like living with a high interest loan. You have to pay with boredom before your brain starts feeling normal again. And here's the twist. Your motivation system hasn't disappeared. It's been replaced by a protection system. Your brain isn't trying to help you achieve more anymore. It's trying to avoid overload. So when you sit down to do something slow, it shuts you down. Not because you're weak, because it thinks it's protecting you. But this doesn't happen by accident. The system around you is designed this way. Every algorithm you interact with is built to keep you engaged by feeding you constant novelty. Something new, something faster, something slightly more interesting than the last thing. Every scroll becomes a gamble, and your brain gets hooked on the anticipation. What's next? What's next? What's next? Now think about what that does to your focus. When you train your brain on 10 to 15-second bursts of stimulation, anything longer starts to feel unbearable. Deep work becomes painful. Stillness feels wrong. So you don't just lose focus. You lose the ability to stay with anything that doesn't reward you instantly, and the worst part, you're always expecting something better, which means nothing ever feels good enough. You're no longer just consuming content. You're being conditioned by it. But here's the good news. This isn't permanent. Dopamine debt can be reversed, but not by doing more, by doing something completely different.